Okay, I guess I'm starting. Well, hey, welcome everybody. Welcome to my first podcast for Let's Pray Together. Um, I wanted to start off and say thank you for everyone for listening to all of my subliminals and anybody who's ever messaged me and asking for help. I'm I'm greatly appreciative of all the support and everything you guys do. This is going to be kind of rough first podcast because I've never done one. So that being said, I want to know what you as a listener for this podcast want to know or want to learn about Santa Muerte, and then we will do that together. Again, there's really no right or wrong way, but for me, I want to let you know that the only reason I ever started doing this subliminal or trying to get her out there on social media is because, and it's going to sound really weird, but I was first approached, I guess, by her through random images here and there that would pop up on my phone or on my computer, and then it went from that to dream communication and flat out just seeing her in the darkness. So it was a little bit intense at first, and it's still kind of intense when you first see her, when you're addressed by her. But in the end, it's still spirit. So being what I am and how I've researched paranormal and spiritualism and all that, I went in and just asked her what she wanted and what I could do to help her feel more at ease. And in turn, I was given I was given a music video on YouTube. Now, the music video on YouTube had nothing to do with spiritualism, nothing at all. It was just a subliminal about weight loss that you listen to overnight. And I wasn't too sure what that all meant. So I went ahead and started listening to it every night. And before long, I realized that my body was actually doing things by itself that I wouldn't normally be doing. So I started putting two and two together that maybe she wanted something like this. Maybe something more convenient for her followers to be able to listen to during the day or in the car or at work, and nobody would know the wiser of what they were listening to, because there's a lot of negativity that comes about when you say, oh, I pray to Santa Muerte, and then all of a sudden the first thing anyone will ever think about is, the negative that's associated with her. And she doesn't want that anymore. She wants to stand out and be praised for who she is and what she contributes as a saint herself. And I just want you to know that that's what I've gotten from her. It's not me doing it because blah, blah, blah. No, it's what she's presented to me and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Now, after doing what I'm doing, I've noticed a lot of other people basically just copying and pasting my stuff and putting it on TikTok and putting it everywhere and just basically copying me, like literally just verbatim copy paste, which is fine, but I need to let you know and make you all very, very, very aware that if you're not giving credit where credit is due for the person who actually created it in the first place, there will be a lot of negativity surrounding you, and I don't think you really want that. So for whatever reason, after you've done what you did, you stole one of whatever I worked on and didn't recognize that's where you stole it from, and then all of a sudden you start getting negativity or having, I don't know, bad luck, what would say, then I would really start to stand back and think about, okay, well, what did I do? What did I do to make this happen? I'm not here to profit off of her. I'm just here to help her. Help her and help anybody who believes in her. I too may not get it right all the time. And believe me, I know when I don't get something right. But I am here to help, and I think the way I wanted to do these podcasts was we would start off with, good morning, hope you guys are having a good day type scenario. And then go on to the first prayer, which would be our beginning daily prayer. And then after the beginning daily prayer, we would go on to the topic of the day. And then another part of this of this podcast, I would like to see if there's somebody that needs help, whether that be spiritually, mentally, just so I can see if I can help, and then eventually, hopefully, if I get more listeners to this podcast, we can be able to help each other out as a community. I'm not sure if that's possible, but I would like to actually try. And again, this isn't a cult. This isn't, I'm not trying to create something weird, but I am just here to see if I could help as best as I can. And I don't get, dream communication all the time. There are signs everywhere, but when I do get the dream communication, it's very, very serious, and one of those sit-down talks that you get from like your principal or a teacher or somebody of respectable nature sits you down and says, okay, we need to talk. That's what it's like. And in all honesty, there's a lot of times that when there is dream communication with her, it is in Spanish. So for me, I'm not a native Spanish speaker, even though my grandmother spoke Spanish, my mom, my uncles, everybody. But for me, I learned, I went to school, I took classes, but I've never actually sat down and tried to speak the language because that's a lie. I tried speaking it, but I sound so bad, it's just not even worth trying. So I want to say for this first one, again, I'm really happy that you all are here, and I'm thinking maybe I'll eventually turn this into where I'm showing you certain rituals or certain castings I do with her, as far as like the altar I use for her, everything's separated for her and the rest of the other saints that I have. Everybody has their spot in the house, that makes sense. And they're never really mixed together, even though they're kind of in the same area, but they're separated. Everybody's separated from each other. Nobody's in each other's space. And I know it may seem a little overwhelming at first, but it's actually kind of calming when you do these prayers and little rituals here and there when you dive deep into Santa Muerte. And that's fine. Of course, if you have any questions or need help with anything, you're free to send me an email through the email we have linked in the YouTube page. And usually I answer back within like either the same day or the next day. I did take a break there for about a couple months. The only reason I took a break is because there's only so much you can throw out at a time. And I was also getting discouraged because people were basically just copy and pasting whatever I was making and putting it on their TikTok and not doing it for themselves, if that made sense. They were just copying and stealing from other people and not actually doing that from their heart. And to believe in Santa Muerte, you got to believe from your heart. And not just from an aspect of, oh, if I do this, I'm going to get money. It's like, no, that's not what's going to happen. If you do this and don't recognize what you just did, you could end up potentially hurting yourself and your family members or anybody around you for doing so. You do not mess with saints or figures like that and expect nothing to happen. And that is from a personal, experience of things. You do not mess with them. You do not joke around. It's not something to joke around with or tempt, if that makes sense. So right now, I'm actually trying to get a prayer up for you guys. One of the ones I wrote to see if anybody out there needs it to help you out. A lot of the ones I write myself. It's better when it comes from you and not from a book. So, because that was somebody else's words. So when it comes from you and you speak as if you're praying to her, then it makes it more personal and just all around more effective. And of course my computer's decided to update right now. Alright, so what we'll do is this will be my first podcast. I will air another one tomorrow. I'll do it on Mondays and Tuesdays. For right now. Just for right now. Again, another tip is if you ever wanted to start something with Santa Muerte, the good tip is to start it on Tuesdays. It's just something I read somewhere. I'll find it. But apparently it's more effective if you start on Tuesdays. And for me, that's what I've been doing since. So if you notice, like when I post a video or posted a video in the past, it's usually on a Tuesday or a Friday. If I'm trying to do multiple during the week, then I'll do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then I'll skip Friday. But from here on out, every time I post a video, I'll be on Tuesdays, like a subliminal plus the prayer. And that's what I do. I do the prayer so you can hear what's being said in the subliminal, and then the subliminal itself. It's a lot, but it's fun, and it calms me down whenever I make them. The next one I should be making, I'm going to try to do it for tomorrow, and it'll be to coincide with the rare supermoon or blue moon that's happening this week. And hopefully we can get some stuff out Sometimes a video can take me anywhere from, I want to say, for me to create one video, it can take anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. But that's not saying that, and that's including recording time, writing the prayer, finding what I want to. I actually record sounds outside, and whatever I record that doesn't have any cars in it, which is hard, but which doesn't have any cars in it, I use that on my videos. Some other times I will do like sound bites from things I hear, and then I'll do a collaboration, put them together, and that's the sounds you'll get. So I want to say I hope everybody has a good week. I will be back on tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll have it more organized. We'll start off with a good morning. We'll do a prayer. I'll go into like a discussion about a specific topic. And tomorrow's topic, if anybody wants to chime in or send me a message or email and isn't afraid to talk about it, or, you know, of course it can be anonymous, just let me know. I want to be anonymous on the email about your calling. How did you, or how did Santa Muerte find you, or how did you find her? If you're not afraid to, you know, answer that, and just let me know, and so that way we can discuss it on tomorrow's podcast. Now, if you could still send them in, if let's say you hear this like a week from now or a year from now, you can still send it in, and we will still discuss it on the following podcast. So don't be afraid. Again, the door is always open for questions, and sometimes those questions could be turned into the next topic. So that way we can go into more depth and more detail on that topic, so we can all understand together how to pray to her and how to give her offerings, or what kinds of offerings to give her. All right, so again, I hope you all have a good day, and I hope to hear from you guys soon. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, just so you can get the notification next time I post. I promise not to be too much of a, you know, a burden on that, or too much of a pest. So again, thank you guys, and I hope to hear from you all very soon. Thank you. Bye.